Don't be a boob. For more videos like this one, please subscribe to this channel.
Cut power to 2.3 million homes and businesses across Texas. Rolling outages are part of the cause as demand spikes due to the extreme cold. New this morning, FlightAware reporting that Uri is responsible for more than 8,500 delays or cancellations at the nation's airports on Sunday and today. Well, there is that, and certainly for places like this, you don't see snow. You know, there is some lighthearted moments, but there's also a lot of challenges, and many school districts were already closed today for the President's Day holiday. Houston and Galveston, which plan to be open, have canceled all classes today, and schools in Oklahoma City, Jackson, Mississippi, and Little Rock, Arkansas will switch to virtual learning for today. All right, Jim, and maybe for a couple of days when you see this forecast.
I mean, yeah, and then maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, this, as we've been saying, this is the worst case scenario. Yes, snow and ice is one thing, but then when it gets cold, you are stuck. You are literally stuck because you do have to just wait for it to melt. Now, on the flip side, we do have some warm weather, and we actually have severe weather chances with the warmer side of things. It's a tiny little pocket here over Florida, South Georgia, northern Florida, the Panhandle, maybe even South Carolina. We'll have to keep an eye on North Carolina with that chance for storms coming in overnight there. Now, today, we've got a 3 on the Torcon. Hail damaging winds, and then there is this isolated tornado threat. Certainly, the day is going to change a lot for you guys here today. It doesn't feel like you could have storms, but dew points are going to come back up into the 60s. A few scattered showers will pop right through the early afternoon, and then watch Pensacola at lunchtime. And boom, here comes the thunderstorms. Possible severe weather. You watch for these guys, like this little guy right here, out ahead of the main line for possible rotation. We're watching that right through about the 3 or 4 o'clock hour, and then it all heads east here by the evening hours into places like Jacksonville by 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. All right, let's go back out to Jim and talk more about this cold. Jim, I checked. We have like 77% of the country that is below 32 degrees right now, which is pretty significant, actually, considering what the averages are.
It really is, and so much of Texas is in that, Jen, obviously.
Continue what we know about this winter storm continues to just show us how dangerous it is to be on the roadways here. We had an accident when 6 people died in a crash involving more than 133 cars in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was a similar scene to that on Sunday, just yesterday, in Oklahoma. Take a look at this. Several people had to be hospitalized after this fiery crash not far from Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma National Guard had to step in and assist in cleaning up the scene, and it took 8 hours, staggering 8 hours, because of the terrible weather conditions. So this is why we warn you to stay off the roadways. We're concerned about it in other spots now as Winter Storm Uri continues on its move. We're seeing the freezing rain already across northern parts of Alabama, northwest Alabama, and it's only going to get worse. We had a glaze of ice overnight, and now we're adding this to it. It has been 31 or colder across the Huntsville area. We've got the Muscle Shoals down towards Jasper. You've warmed up a degree or so. We're at 34, but it's awfully close, and I'm sure there are spots on the northern and western side of town that are dealing with the ice. Then we jump up to Nashville, where we have temperatures in the 20s. We've had some freezing mist, some freezing drizzle. It's enough to make those roads a glaze of ice. There's 2 areas that we're really worried about right now. The one in pink, that's where the freezing rain could be as much as 0.05 or 0.2 of an inch of rain in 3 hours. That's a lot. That's going to cause power outages with the weight of that ice on branches, and that extends all the way through Mississippi up into Alabama. It actually includes parts of Louisiana not far from New Orleans either. So watching that. And then the snowfall, the snow is really coming down. So a couple of reports like around Austin, Arkansas, 3 inches of snow. We could see 1 inch per hour snowfall rates easily with that, and that swings into Memphis too. With our cold temperatures here, that is going to be sticking. Nashville, we get the freezing rain, and then we finish with a bit of snow as this all moves through this afternoon and evening. Now, winter storm warnings stretch nearly 2,000 miles from border to border this morning, and few states are getting hit as hard as Texas. More than 1 million customers are already without power, and more snow and ice is to come. The Weather Channel's Felicia Combs live here on the ground for us in Houston this morning. And Felicia, I imagine most people are hunkering down and not coming out. Do you see anyone out and about today so far?
You know, Jen, we've seen a few cars here or there, but truly it's pretty much been deserted. As you can see, we are in downtown Houston right now. This is Polk Street right behind me. You can see some of the snow cover on here. We really have not seen a lot of people out, and that's what we like to see. The chief of Houston Police Department, Chief Acevedo, tweeting that several of the offices there, several of the facilities are running on emergency generators. So we're all kind of in this together. You don't want to be out and about and have those first responders having to come out and rescue you if you happen to get in a situation situation. Here's what we're dealing with. I want to show you this here. So the snow might look like the main event that we're talking about because you can see that, but underneath the snow, everywhere where you're not seeing the snow is just a solid sheet of ice. I'm not going to stand on it because it's really slippery, but so the snow is actually offering some nice traction. I will say, though, with the winds blowing the way it is, in some places, especially where we saw a little bit more snow, like maybe out toward Katy or the Woodlands, you could be dealing with some reduced visibility at times with those winds whipping up that light, fluffy snow the way it is. So multiple reasons for you to just stay home, stay off the roads, and stay warm out there. It's not just here, though, that we've got these winter conditions overtaking our entire Monday. It's also in Monroe, Louisiana, where we have Mike Seidel.
Hey, Felicia.